everyone. The one person that's watching. Hey everyone, thank you for coming and joining us for the last final recap and review of the Challenge All-Stars Rivals. Finally, we made it! Yay! Give it up for the viewers. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment. Make sure to chat it up with us in the live chat. Whatever it is, just make sure you're engaging with us. But it's your girl, Keeks.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Jenna.
And that's it, y'all. We are at the final episode. Finally. I don't know. Between like 40 and All-Stars back to back, Brandon, like
it was a lot to get through. I'm happy that they're giving us a little break because we still don't know when 41 is coming out yet. But I really hope they give us like at least 2 months because the back-to-back stuff, like, it was getting tiring.
It's giving Drag Race. It's giving Drag
Race. Very much Drag Race.
Drag Race is like that. Drag Race apparently, for the Drag Race folks that watch the challenge as well, All-Stars 10, May 9th. Like
it's April 17th. We are literally the final episode for the current season of Drag Race is tomorrow, the finale. So what is that? 3 weeks? Yeah, that's 3 weeks. Yeah. No, they give us and that's not also including all the little international seasons that they have as well.
Right, because Philippines gonna have their own version of All-Stars now. So
I did peep that.
It's a lot. But yes, this season for this season 40 and All-Stars back to back was such a long journey. It was literally for half the year. If you really think about it, it was for half of a year. Because season 40 started at the end of August, early September?
Yeah, we took no breaks.
No breaks. But anyway, let's get right into the final part 2. We're going to start off with the 5th checkpoint called Faux King or Fucking Trivia, whatever. Yeah, playing good job. Production for that little cute play on words. To begin, you and your partner are going to have a big bowl of pho, then are going to be taking like shot glasses with different contents, including like black snails, red chili peppers, coconut worms. Jenna, you had previously told us like right before we started that apparently like there was like an eye involved or whatever based off of Nicole and Sam's live. Also, Nicole and Sam are good.
It seems that way. They were chopping it up on live yesterday. So
all right, cool. And then TJ is going to ask you a series of questions, and if you get the answer wrong, you have to put something in your own bowl. However, if you get it right, you get to pour it into the other team's bowl. So pretty much it's like the like the married couple games or whatever. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, newlywed.
That's what I feel like. Newlywed games.
Like something like this before. Like
we saw it. Mm-hmm. We saw it earlier in the season. Yeah. So it made sense. All right, so then pretty much after cooking, it's time to eat. Whoever finishes first will win 4 stars, second will win 3, and so on and so forth. Obviously, like third will win 2, and then last place 1. So yeah, how did y'all feel about this challenge? I mean, I was like, okay, this is cool to end the day 1 like this. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it was cute. There were some things that I noticed throughout this specific challenge that I wish didn't happen. So, like Adam and Steve, for example, when it came time for them to eat I think it was the red pepper, the chili or whatever it was, they gave it to themselves. Give it to somebody else. Like, we're already at the point where I have 4 teams, like it doesn't matter. And then where I feel like Shane messed up was that he was targeting like other people. He said in the beginning, like, oh, I'm just gonna go down the line to make it fair. and then he ended up going with Nicole and Melissa like twice, and I felt like that put more of an eye on them, if anything, and messed them up. So,
right.
Agree.
Yeah. What else did you have to mention, Jenna?
No, I just like, I don't know. The last 3 episodes, Shane has just been on my nerves. So for him to like state that at the beginning, like, oh, we're just gonna go down the line. And then I don't know what triggered it. I think like he went for Nicole and Melissa and then they went back for him, so he went back for them again. I don't know. I was just like,
basically, and it
oh,
was like use logic, like
and he was like, oh, well, I guess because it turned personal. Like, you made it personal. Nobody else made it personal.
Well, apparently the challenge where they had to stack up the little trash bins or whatever, and they could throw the balls at them, like at the opposing team. Apparently they did not show it, but Nicole did try to go for Day and Shane.
I did see that on Twitter or X or whatever.
Yeah. That's what Davon said. So I was like, okay, like maybe it stemmed from that. Like, okay, you try to sabotage me earlier. Like, why not try to get back at you? But yeah, I do agree with Davon. Like, okay, clearly my partner plays this a lot more emotionally than I do. And I just thought it was weird, like sabotage Adam and Steve as best as possible. But
literally go for Adam and Steve every chance you can get. I don't understand why these people weren't just doing that in the first place. They're the only guy team. Sabotage them.
I mean, well, as we saw, so like some of the things that we noticed in this challenge, right? So like TJ asked, like, what is your partner's middle name? Adam and Steve are the only ones to get it wrong. So they add like black snails to their bowl. Everybody else gets it right. TJ then asked them to spell their partner's last name. Adam and Steve get it right, but then they put the peppers in their own bowl, like Brandon mentioned. And then Day and Shane, they get it right and sabotage Melissa and Nicole again. Frank and Sam get it right and put it in Adam and Steve's. Nicole, Melissa get it wrong. Then and Melissa spelled Nicole's last name so wrong. TJ then asked, like, what team would your partner sabotage, eliminate, and save them from the remaining 3 teams? Adam, Steve, Davon, and Shane, Melissa, Nicole get theirs wrongs and have to add coconut worms to their bowl. Frank and Sam get theirs right and sabotage Davon and Shane. And then the teams like start the bowls, which is disgusting. But this is where we find out, apparently, that Steve used to eat or do eating competitions. And I'm over here like, Steve, you have lived so many lives.
Of course he did. Why wouldn't he have? Like, which is another reason that they shouldn't be there. Like, they gave them the check and signed it for them.
Pretty much. I agree. Like, nobody played strategically. Even in the final, everybody was like, oh, our friends. Let's just all hold hands to the end.
Yeah,
like,
you guys are not friends. You met each other on these shows and you compete for money. So right. Like, yeah, you might have relationships outside of the show, but when you're in the show, you're playing for money. So do what you got to do to win first place. You'll get over it later.
Frank and Sam were the only ones that sabotaged them, right?
I believe so, yeah. In this specific challenge,
yeah.
I think so, yeah. Pretty much. I feel like Frank and Sam were the only ones that strategically place the ingredients in other people's things.
Agreed.
Their bowls or whatever they were.
Yeah, Melissa and Nicole, I don't know what they were doing the whole time. I really don't. Even their answers of like who would you sabotage, eliminate, and save? Like Nicole's answer, I was like, what is that? What is that, Nicole?
Like, were you thinking, Nicole, when this was going down? Like, it was just a stupid answer. I don't know. But again, it's Nicole.
Yeah, and then I love Davon too, but her answer to say us.
Her answer was stupid because he's not gonna get that.
No, but apparently on Twitter, X, whatever, she had said that her and Shane had discussed if there was any kind of questions like that they would they agreed to put us. And then Shane looked surprised and he's like, what? like he didn't get the memo. So I don't know, but I was just like, girl, it's the final. Play the game. Just write somebody's name.
Ugh, they're
I don't know.
frustrating. They
Yeah.
really are.
I had to put on my work headset, y'all, because my AirPods decided to die on me. So
You didn't miss much. We were just talking about Nicole's dumb answers, and then how Davon basically discussed with Shane to put us if there were any questions like that, and then he was acting surprised.
yeah, and I saw that. I was just like, okay. But okay, so Adam and Steve, they earn 4 stars, which brings them to 14 stars total. Second comes in Sam and Frank. They earn 3 stars, gets them to 10 stars. Davon and Shane, they earn 2 stars. They get 15 stars in total at that point. And then Melissa and Nicole, 1 star, earn 10 stars total. So at this point, I'm like, okay, like, honestly, it's pretty fair. It looks like it's fair game for everybody. But before we go into day 2, apparently we missed or were not shown an overnight checkpoint. I'm not sure how true that is, but apparently it had to do with like braiding of some sort. And Angel Cake, I don't know if y'all follow him, but he's really great at the challenge content stuff. I'm guessing he got inside scoop on that, but he mentioned like he did like a screenshot where you see kind of Adam's like hand, like fingers kind of like looking all kind of crazy. They doing gang signs and whatever. And it's because of the fact that they had to do this damn braiding checkpoint in the middle of the night, and apparently like Adam and Steve ended up getting a point or like a star for that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm a little confused. I don't know why they would exclude that. I guess I don't know. I just feel like they could have cut down the vomiting content and could have included that.
Because even, and we'll get to it, but even at the end, it felt like the team that was in second, because I don't want to give it away for people that didn't see, but the team that was in second were very content with them being in second place, and like they had an idea already that was what was going to happen. So
yeah, and we'll talk about that when we get to that final checkpoint, because that was such a letdown. And it was going so good, so I was just like, what the hell? But okay, so at the end of day 1, Day and Shane are at the top. They are number 1. Adam and Steve follow them. They're 1 star apart. Then it's Sam, Frank, Melissa, Nicole for 3rd place. They're tied. So let's go into day 2. First checkpoint is called High Tide. And the rules are: on go, you will race down a steep and sit, right? Yeah. A steep
sand
to your team color boat. Jump in, start paddling. It's like a mile course long. Once you hit that 1 mile mark, attach the boat to the shore and race to the finish line. And at this point, we see like clearly some of the challengers, they're getting messed up. Steve says he heard a pop in his quad and it started hurting a lot. And you see that because like everyone's kind of like running past Steve. And Adam, Rose, and Sales, so they're able to like take off fairly fast. Day says she's never paddled a boat in her damn life, and I was dying because facts.
Same.
Jenna, have you indulged in paddling?
I'm sure she has.
I don't know. I don't think why, because I'm white, Brandon.
Right.
No, because you like the water. You're
true.
always like in water. I'm like, get me out of this water.
Oh, I love water. I love water, but I've never paddled no damn or sailed or whatever.
Right.
I've never done that.
I don't think
so.
No,
most I've sailed is like on a little cute little boat or whatever.
Right.
But not
most
like
I row is at the gym, honey. That's it.
No, yeah, at least you do that. Good for you, girl. She could be on the challenge too, okay? So then like we see Sam and Frank creep up and pass Adam and Steve and win first. I was shocked about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Very surprised. I didn't see that for them, but you know, I feel like Frank had a drive that we haven't seen all season. And I think it clicked for him, like, we're in the final. So, like, let's turn it up. And he was pretty much, like, in charge of the, what is that? I guess steering of the boat. Whatever it's called. I don't row. So, yeah, he was very much in charge of that. Frank was on a mission. Absolutely. So I wasn't surprised. I was surprised, but when it actually happened, I was like, you know what? It kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Sure. I was kind of like, I was just surprised by that. So we see first Sam and Frank, they get 4 stars. They're up to 14 stars total. Then it's Adam and Steve. They earned 3 stars. They're at 17 stars. Melissa and Nicole earned 2, and they get up to 12 stars. And then Davon and Shane earn 1 at 16 stars. So pretty much, like, honestly, the switch up is crazy. The switch up is really real. And now we get to the second checkpoint of day 2, which is called Shoulder the Load. Go ahead, Brandon, if you want to take that away.
Yeah, so the rules for this game basically are on go. You'll have to race to the water where you find a stick with 2 Vietnamese bowls on it. You then have to go fill them up and then carry them back together as many times as it takes to fill up the team's vial within a specific time limit. And TJ makes sure that he lets everyone know that. So it's a pretty simple game, not very complicated at all. Some highlights that I noticed though were in the very beginning, Sam starts off running limping, and she did mention actually that her knee was hurting earlier on. So I was just like, okay, like, sure. Here we go.
So now you're Frank. So now you're Frank.
It's like there's some people that actually like, and Sam, I don't mean this disrespectfully at all, but
yes, he does. Yes,
you were just giving complaint after complaint after complaint after complaint the whole entire time. And it gets like very annoying because if you can't do it, I would just be like, okay, I'm done. But it was just frustrating. But moving on from her, Adam is carrying the load basically because Steve's knee is hurting, obviously, like we said earlier. And we see that he's basically spilling the water everywhere when they're trying to pour it, not being very strategic because they're just not strategic. Shane is actually carrying the load while Davon is kind of like guiding him. And they come up with a strategy that I thought was smart where they take both of the bowls and kind of like combine them so that the water can flow evenly. So that was really smart of them to do. And then Frank is getting frustrated, and this is when I saw the old Frank come back. I was like, oh, I thought he left. But he's basically yelling at her, saying to push through the pain. And she's saying it's difficult. But what was funny was that Frank said he did a full orthopedic evaluation on her knee 30 minutes before. Because, you know, he's a physical therapist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a physical therapist. He did an evaluation on her knee and nothing was wrong, according to him. So you see her like in so much pain and he's in his confessional like, yeah, I don't know what's wrong because her knee is fine. According to, let's call him Dr. Frank.
I was like, Frank, okay, like, yes, and nothing is severely wrong, but it's also just like, you want it so bad that you're trying to overlook somebody telling you that they're in pain, which I get. I understand what you're saying too. Like, okay, it gets very annoying hearing somebody give up on themselves when you're trying to constantly motivate them, trying to give them encouragement. And no matter which way you say it or spin it, they're obviously like shutting down on themselves and not believing in their abilities. Because that's what we were seeing with Sam, for sure.
She was basically like fading away. And I wish if she was just really just tired, she would have just said that. But again, yeah. I'm believing this based off of Frank's assessment. So
right, he's the professional here, you know.
I mean,
Apparently.
listen, it looked hot as well, so I think she was really just like,
Dehydration.
yes, like
Yeah.
burning out. And I think the only thing that was really noticeable to her was, damn, my knee kind of hurts running back and forth. Because she did say it. I think it was, I don't know if it was running to the boats or if it was running starting at the shoulder the load challenge, but she was like, oh, my legs are not as strong, but my upper body is fine.
Yeah.
So she had said, like, I know my strengths and weaknesses, but yeah, I was getting a little annoyed as well. And I was just like, girl, do you want the money or not? Like, suck it up.
Yeah. It's like she
It's
gave him a pre-warning of like, okay, I'm getting tired, just so
yeah.
you know.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think I read an article too because I think it was Entertainment Weekly where they interviewed Adam and Steve, and Steve was like, "Listen, there were a lot more injuries than they showed." Steve was like going through other things besides pulling his quad, and he's like, "Oh, I had a knee sleeve that I gave to Sam, and she was still complaining about her knee." So it's like, and then they showed that Frank did the evaluation on her, and he told medical just wrap it up really tight. So it's like, Sam, we've done every intervention we can do. Do you want to be here or
Yeah.
not? So
No,
I don't
and
know.
I understand him freaking out too, right? Because if she's out of commission, if she gives up, it's over for Frank. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
all the effort that he did and all the strategy, the gameplay that he did during the season, it's all for nothing because rude as hell. They don't know that we're
For
potting. Like, what's
nothing.
going on?
But
Um,
the only thing that does frustrate me with Frank specifically though
yeah.
is that he was doubting Sam all season. He was like, I know we're not gonna win, like, so we have to rely on this. So when it comes to the physical stuff, don't like act like, oh my god, my world is crushed because I'm not gonna. You knew you weren't gonna win. You
Right.
knew this in the back of your head. So when this girl is really telling you, like, and she might say it's her leg when really she's just tired. Like, let's be
Hmm.
honest. So don't take on so much in your mind, like it's damaging you in a way.
Yeah. I get what you're saying too. Like Frank the entire season was saying that he's going to face the impossible having Sam as his
Right.
partner. So why all of a sudden you thought that you were going to be able to make the impossible possible at the last few checkpoints is kind of like no, it's just more of like Frank's hunger and desire to win overpowered him in that moment. And I mean, like I get it, but like
His inner saboteur took over.
right, definitely.
Can I just say
Um,
though, he was like, he had pointed out when they won the boat challenge, he was like, that was the most physical checkpoint of the final so far, and we won. So I think Frank had a little bit of hope in his mind, like, all right,
mm,
like we could probably push through these physical challenges. But like Sam said, she's like, her legs are not strong. When it comes to running, I'm sorry, like Sam, it's not happening, honey.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
just yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, look, again, like these are things that you can train for and some things you can't train for. So you just never know on that day what you're going to be good at. Maybe that day she was rowing and she was putting her all into it and then she exhausted herself. So I
Yeah,
don't think
that
she
was
Mhm.
should be disappointed in herself. I think she did something that she didn't expect to win in.
right.
So I don't want her to take that away from herself either.
Yeah.
But next time when you do come back, because I'm sure we'll see her back, just
I hope so.
don't rely on the excuses. Try to just push through. If you're really hurting, like tell it to yourself. Don't
Mhm.
tell that man because he's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Oh, but before we move on, I do want to say like Steve and Day or like Steve just in general, like trying to calm them both down. Like good for Steve for intervening, like just making sure like Frank, like we get it, like we
yeah.
understand why you feel the way that you do, but you gotta reel it in. Like don't
Am I
say or do.
crazy? Did I also see Shane yelling in the beginning like Frank?
Yeah,
Or was
yeah,
that
it was him. No, it was
I was
okay?
like,
him.
Because
Shane,
I
you better
thought
sit down.
so. No, I
Yeah.
really think he was trying to like calm him
Yeah, I
down.
think he was trying to calm him down. I think everybody was because everybody was reaching their breaking point, right? Like we saw Nicole and Melissa also having their conversations on the side, and things were weighing on everybody at that point. Like some people are realizing, like, okay, we're not gonna be able to win. Like Melissa and Nicole at that point, I feel like they knew there's no way that they're winning.
Yeah. Agreed.
Where I got frustrated with Shane though was it was still in the middle of the challenge, and he just kind of whispered to Davon and said like he's being so mean. Like Shane,
oh yes,
please.
Yes, that's what Crystal had mentioned. That we have
Shane
saying he's being mean, like he wasn't acting the same. Right.
Like
basically Shane was like, okay, someone else is being meaner than me.
Finally.
Right. Well, okay, so we finished that checkpoint. Did we go over the stars who got?
No, so for the win order, first place was Davon and Shane, and it was neck and neck with Adam and Steve, but due to their strategy, thank God, they were able to get first place, and they earned 4 stars, which puts them at 20 stars total. Then in second place was Adam and Steve. They get 3, so now they have 20 as well. Nicole and Melissa and Frank and Sam end up timing out, so they don't get any stars, which leaves Nicole and Melissa still at 12 and Frank and Sam still at 14. So this is basically when Frank starts going ballistic, yelling at Sam, saying that she's making up so many excuses. And like Keeks said, Steve tries to console Frank because he basically says that you've worked so hard to not be that person. I don't want you to have to look back on yourself, basically, because of all the work that you've done. And then Davon says to Sam, I just want to make sure that you're okay. And she's like, yeah. She's like, okay, that my only concern is you, just making sure. So Frank then tells Sam in the, I don't know what those cars are called, but
they're kind of like in a pickup truck or whatever, like headed to the next checkpoint.
To the next checkpoint, Frank basically tells Sam that, you know, it's okay. Like, and I thought he was saying it's okay to quit. That's what I was getting from that conversation. Oh. So I was surprised that they moved forward, but he's basically saying it's okay, but when she gets home, she needs to make some changes and take care of herself, because now he's also a psychiatrist as well.
No, I'm kidding.
Like, also that I was like, Frank, like it's easy for you because you have that slim build, you're still athletic, and life just hasn't hit you the same way that's hit other people. Like, but you can't say like, oh, you have to take care of yourself. Maybe mentally you could have said like you need to take care of yourself, but like it's different for everybody. Not everyone's the same. So that just kind of like frustrated me a little bit. And it's also frustrating because I think Davon mentioned this about Sam, but it's like she's like seeking his like approval.
Yes.
Like
you could tell that Sam is really trying to push through for more so for Frank than her. Like her own being. And like I don't know, like, and just I don't know. I just feel like hearing that I'm hurting, I'm in pain, I'm pushing through it, I'm trying to give my all, and you're gonna over here telling me I gotta take care of myself when we get home and all these things. And some of y'all may agree, some of y'all may not. I'm more of just like, don't lecture me in that time and moment, like as if I don't know the reality of the situation either. Right. Like, it's not like Sam is delusional. Sam knows who she is and her capabilities. She's been pretty self-aware the entire season. So I just felt like, why are you okay? Whatever, Frank. But I fuck with Frank still, y'all. It's not that. It's just some things that he says, I'm just like, did you have to say it in that moment? No, but you got it out anyway. So
it's more so like you're not that. So don't act like you've been in my shoes before, to act like to know, basically.
Yeah. And like
I'm gonna play devil's advocate really quick though, and just say that like I think Sam was like a little self-deprecating all season, and I think Frank started to pick up on that.
Okay.
And as their relationship has evolved and they've grown closer, I think she looks up to him, and I think he realizes that, and maybe he sees himself as like a motivating factor for her. Like you said, you know, it seems like Sam is trying to please him in a way. But I think Frank picked up on that. Maybe the advice was unsolicited at that point in time, but I don't think there was any malice behind it. I think he really does want her to turn her life around because she wants to turn her life around. Like, you could see it all throughout the season. He would train with her when they were at the house, and she even said on the live yesterday that she's lost 35 pounds since filming. She's really cleaned up her act at home, so I think these are changes that she wanted to make, and I agree that maybe the timing wasn't right, but I think his intention was in the right place. And he also said that he thought that that was a private conversation. He didn't know that there was a camera in the car.
Okay.
So
See,
they
that makes
thought,
that's
sense.
different. That's different. Okay.
Yeah, he
but
said
like
that they thought that was a private interaction, and they had no idea that there was a camera there recording that whole thing.
Okay. No, and I do agree with you. I don't think that there's any malice behind it, but I just thought like because now that makes sense. Like they thought it was a private conversation and they showed it to us.
Yeah.
So like it looks weird if people don't know that fact because it's just like, damn, like now you
time
gotta
and place.
You gotta give her a reality check now, as if like she already don't know she's struggling, you know?
Right, when she's already down on herself.
Right, but I definitely get what you're saying too, like the self-deprecation, like that also gets very irritating. And some people like they also find comfort in being self-deprecating. Like I've gone through that phase in my life as somebody bigger too. Like you kind of joke on yourself or put yourself down so nobody else in the room does it before you do. Or so I get that as well. But okay, so let's move on to the final checkpoint, right? So we have balanced them all. And honestly, I hated this last checkpoint. I was fine with everything else. And I was just like, what is this? I felt like this should have been maybe like the first checkpoint of the day. And maybe we could have had shoulder the load as the last checkpoint with maybe the high tide being the last thing, like to cross the finish line. I don't know.
Just anything else.
Yeah. I didn't like it. I hated it. How did you feel about it?
It didn't feel like a finisher to me. It felt like something that was, like you said, should have been squeezed in the middle somewhere, but not for the final thing. It didn't give that like triumphant feeling, if you will, that we've seen in multiple seasons.
That's a good point.
So I was kind of let
down. It that way. Yeah. I liked it as a challenge, but yeah, now that you guys point that out, I agree that it could have been reorganized or placed somewhere else throughout the day, for sure.
Yeah, it was anticlimactic, like for sure. Yes. So the rules of the game is that there are 20 bags that are all different weights. The goal is to put all 20 bags on your teeter-totter seesaw thingy and balance it out perfectly. You and your partner then have to get on the seesaw, teeter-totter, whatever you want to call it. Libra scales. Whatever, I don't know. The scales with the weights, so you have to balance each other and hit the balance target perfectly. And then everyone is trying to figure out the perfect way to balance it. Like you see people doing different strategies, right? You see, obviously, like, which I thought was really smart, of Frank and Sam kind of like trying to test the different weights of the bags and trying to see how they could distribute the weight before just putting the bags on the little teeter-totter seesaw thingy. And we see everybody kind of getting on, like they're grabbing each other, trying to balance everything. At this point, Davon and Shane and Adam and Steve are trying to finish for first place, and then Frank and Sam and Melissa and Nicole are trying to secure that third place spot between them two. So Davon and Shane and Adam and Steve finish at the same time. What it really looks like is that production cut it that way to make it seem like it was closer than what it was. And really, Adam and Steve finished first, and then Davon and Shane, then Frank and Sam finished before Melissa and Nicole, securing their third place. And then Nicole and Melissa finished last. So, as we saw, fourth place ends up being Melissa and Nicole. They get to share $5,000 with their 13 stars. $5,000 is what they got.
Oh gosh.
$2,500. Cute.
Before taxes.
You think they take the taxes off of that?
Probably.
Absolutely.
No, because the only reason why I ask is because apparently for CBS, for Big Brother, they don't They cut the full check.
At all?
At all. That's what Taylor Hale said. She said she got the full thing.
This is MTV.
You're right, but it is smaller. So I was like, do they give them the full thing?
Maybe, but they'll probably have to claim that on their taxes either way.
Oh yeah,
so either they take it out or they have to claim it anyway. So
they have to.
Yeah.
I don't know about them specifically because it's such a low amount.
Yeah,
but
it's
definitely for the top two at least.
Yeah, I would think at least like Adam and Steve and Davon and Shane. Really, like I don't know, maybe yeah. Okay, so then we have Sam and Frank, third place, baby. You know, better. They placed. Frank, you made it to the final. And
they finished, yeah.
And they finished. They get 16 stars total, and their earnings are $10,000. So they split $5,000 each. And we see Frank even say, like, you know, although they finished and everything, like, he really just wanted to win. And yeah. And we also get to see Frank admit that he is they, which I thought was a cute little callback. I said, okay, that's cute. Mm-hmm. So then we get second place, and I was so hurt by this because I really wanted them to win. Well, I really wanted Davon to win. And it was Davon, Shane, 23 stars total. They were off by 1 star, and they split 3,500. I mean 35,000, not 3,500. And Davon says that she's happy to do just so well in her very last season. She's retiring. I don't believe you, Davon. I don't believe you. You said it multiple times now that you're going to retire from reality TV. And here you are.
Not only even her, but like everyone that said on the challenge that they're retiring, we've seen them all come back. Literally. So that's why I was like retiring. Okay.
I was like, you're not retiring from anything. I don't know. I just don't believe it, especially that she did so well this season. Like, come on, Day, like come back. And other fans of hers have also like tweeted her and shown her the multiple times that she said that she's gonna retire reality TV and whatever. And I'm just like, girl, you still gotta do traders. Like, you gotta collect these stones. Like,
collect all the checks.
Collect all of them.
What I will say, absolutely. What I will say though, for Shayna and Davon specifically, I wish they would have had that last conversation that they had before the final earlier on, because they could have been the force that they were in the finale or the final throughout the entirety of the season if they would have just gotten on that same page.
Yeah, but I feel like they played it pretty well too. Like, for them to have had their differences, I feel like they did a pretty good job. They stayed under the radar. They got the star when they absolutely needed to. And like, granted, like when they were in power, they could have made a better move, in my opinion. However, I feel like they played it pretty safe. Like, yeah, for them to have been like split between the house, the both of them, I felt like they did a pretty good job with what they had.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just think they could have won way more if they were aligned earlier on.
Yes. Hey Sophie, congrats to Avery. Yes, and we're gonna get into that right now. So then we see, obviously, first place goes to Adam and Steve, 24 stars in total, and they get to split $250,000 in winnings. And TJ pretty much asked them both to answer a question individually. What do you think your partner would do? So another little newlywed game at the end: steal the money or split the money. And TJ explains that if their answers do not match, they'll have to, which I like this part. If they don't answer the same, they'll have a pretty much like a last match off for the money, which I thought was interesting. And I was like, okay, that's cool, because I wasn't expecting that. I thought he would have just been like, you know, we'll see, whoever votes, like whatever determines what's going to happen with the money. I don't know. And then they both said that they would split the money, getting 125 each. And TJ kind of almost like, he almost tricked us, but we all knew that they were going to split that shit anyway.
I feel like if one of them stole, I don't think Steve would have at all, but if Adam would have stolen it, it would have put a bad taste in my mouth because, like, at the end of the day, you guys worked in unison together throughout the entirety of the season.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. And oh wait, can we talk about something? Because again, why are they failing to mention that the reason why Steve took Adam Starr in All Stars 4 is because Adam kept voting in Steve into elimination. Like, do we like have amnesia?
But not only that, it was his star to begin with.
Right.
It was his. It wasn't.
So it was Steve's star?
Yes. So it was Steve's star. He got thrown into elimination. Mind you, Adam could have saved him in a sense. Like, he did not have to vote for Steve. Steve ends up losing his star or whatever, but wins the elimination or something like that, right? It was like, I forgot what
it was. Basically like his star.
Adam started this.
Adam got it. And then Steve was like, okay, I'm going to get my star back. But during that season, I will say a lot of them were trading off their star. Like Ace, for example, was like, here, I'm going to give you my star. I'll get in next week. And so that's what I thought it was between them. I didn't think there was any malice behind it. And then, like, that's when Adam, during that time, was getting so, like, when he was like, sit and spin on it. And he
was like, sit and spin on it. Like, literally said that.
Where's all this coming from?
It was so weird. We're like, but you started it first. Like, what? And that's why I'm like so confused with production pushing this like narrative that Steve did some whole like horrible decision by stealing Adam's star. But whatever. Either way, I was happy that Steve won. But I guess Avery also won too, because as you may know, Adam and Avery are together. They are now engaged. She did say yes. He popped the question on the screen and in real life, and you know, they're engaged now. So congrats to Adam and Avery.
That's cute.
Good for them.
And good for them. I'm happy for them. But I was very happy for Steve because I feel like, honestly, like, Steve kind of reminds me of like Yes in a way, right? Yes from Stars 1, where they play the game to the best of their abilities. They're not messy as hell. They're kind of just like there to be a good competitor. And granted, like, it's boring for the most part, but I feel like the little interesting facts that we learned about Steve and how he kind of just was like, bro, I'm not gonna apologize to Adam. Like, what? Like, I kind of lived for that, like that nonchalant attitude that he had. But they are the winners of All Stars 5 Rivals, y'all.
Which and we could have said from the very beginning.
We knew that from the beginning. You know, we knew it. I'm not gonna lie.
You let them slide to the final. We knew this was gonna happen.
Claps and snaps. Yes. Yeah. Are we surprised? Are we shocked?
No. You let them win 5 eliminations and nobody went after them after that. It's like they disappeared from everybody's mind. So yeah, they
literally I think they won at least like more than half of the season. They won the challenges.
Yeah.
So like
they were the season.
They won 5 eliminations and 3 dailies, I think I saw.
Yeah, so 8 things out of the whole. Yeah. That's a lot.
And Steve is apparently the oldest winner in challenge history, I think, or All Stars history. I don't know. I saw something
in All Stars, probably All Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if this shows you anything, production, MTV, Paramount, all these things, what it shows you is that this season wasn't made by the younger people that you brought in. The younger people were sleeping half the time. This season was made interesting only by the older people. Shane, Veronica, even Steve and Adam and their little
MTV folk.
Yes, like it was all of the original people, all the older people. So and All Stars, and of course Devon, but let All Stars be All Stars. Like, let the show be the franchise that it's supposed to be. Stop trying to push all of these people that have done like 1-2 seasons onto this franchise. Because it shouldn't be that.
Yeah, I agree. And we saw an interesting video, or let's wrap this up. So that's it. That's All Stars 5, y'all. We'll see what's gonna happen with All Stars 6. This one was definitely my favorite All Stars. I feel like, yeah, this might be my favorite All Stars. Yeah.
I like 3. 3 was pretty up there.
I can't comment because this is the only All-Star season I've watched.
Oh, okay.
It was a great season, though. It was a great season.
Still LOLing at Dario, calling them senior citizens, and those senior citizens whooped his ass.
Yep.
So, but yes, it is very much like that. I mean, I can see like Dario coming back to an All Stars or whatever. For me personally, I feel like if you're just an MTV person, if you started your career, your challenge career on MTV, like I feel like you should have some leeway of being on All Stars. However, these newbies, like we saw in that TikTok we had discussed previously, I don't know if any of y'all have seen it, but pretty much how the challenge no longer has like an identity or is going through an identity crisis. They don't really know how to market the challenge anymore, and they're kind of blurring the lines at this point. Like, why do we have Turbo, somebody that finished one of the hardest finals ever, or the hardest final ever in challenge history? Why do we have him on All Stars when he can still compete with the best of the best on the flagship show? He should not be on All Stars. He should not be wasting his talents on All Stars. That should be for the OGs that really just can't like hold their weight or do as much of challenging dailies as they do on the flagship. Like Fessy should never be on All Stars. Like, please. Leave Fessy on the flagship, and even then, I don't even really know if I want to see Fessy on there.
It's bad enough that after 2 seasons, he was considered a vet. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, I hate how these people compete on 1 or 2 seasons, and they're like, oh, they're vets. No.
I mean, even going back to like Jordan, for example, who was on, I think it was All Stars 3. Like, he's still on the main franchise. So why put him on All Stars? Like, let All Stars be for people that haven't.
Jordan was on All Stars 3?
Yes.
I think he was definitely on an All Star season. I don't know.
He was on All Stars 3. Yes, I just looked it up. Yep.
He was?
Yeah. Why? I don't know. Remember, he was on with Jemmy. Yeah.
What the hell? Why am I like completely blanking out on that?
It was a while ago, but either way, I don't think he should be on an All Stars, for example. That archetype should not be on All Stars. Give it to the people that we haven't seen in a while, and if they decide to come back and compete with these younger people that are running the house at this current point in time, then like a Janae, for example, then sure. But other than that, like, let All Stars be All Stars.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And another thing too, well, Scott, this is Derek K's like co-host from Challenge Mania, and he had stated that the reason for the pairings or for there to be some sort of like issue with the casting and like how it was formatted, etc., was because of the fact that like production started filming for All Stars 5 shortly after 40. As we saw similar challenges. Obviously, it was in the same location, just a different house, etc. So he did mention that because of that short window, they were only able to get a certain amount of people that would make some sort of sense in partners. And he also did mention that apparently Hunter was down to do All Stars with Ashley Millionaire Mitchell as rivals, but he couldn't do it because of work.
That would have
been so good.
That would have been a much better pair than her and Anissa.
Yeah, I mean,
it would have been a realistic pair.
Yes.
I mean, we talked about it, right, on this pod previously in different recaps, that there's a lot of the pairings that could have been better. For example, Frank could have been paired up with several people. He didn't have to be paired up with Sam.
No.
He didn't have to be paired up with Sam. He could have been paired up with Nani. He could have been paired up with Dustin. He could have been paired up with several people. Like, he had so many issues with Zach. Well, Zach's
I don't
not
care
really...
to... Yeah, I don't care to see him on TV ever again. But
yeah, and Zach is not liked by production at all.
No.
So I doubt it. But yeah, so apparently you also had to do with like a budget, right? Like, why fly out a whole different production crew or whatever? Like, why not just try to minimize the budget spending or cast spending? Like, we're gonna grab who we can. Obviously, with 40, we did it big, and then get them to the same location, put them in a different house, whatever, use different types of sets. I mean, I get it, but yeah, it was...
Because what's the rush? Like, why rush filming another season? I get it. Like you said, it was convenient. They were already in that country. They already had half of the cast. Like, you know.
And it also just felt like it wasn't a part of the All Stars franchise,
right?
Like, because if you, Jenna, if you watch like all of the other All Stars, they'll do like, even the music, right? It's like throwbacks to like older 80s and 90s music, and you're like, oh, I forgot about that song, but it just gave you a different nostalgic feeling than I feel like this season did. So that might actually be why Keeks likes it more.
What?
Like this season as opposed to the other All-Star season, you like this one the most?
Yeah, I mean, I think I liked it more just because I felt like the drama was like legit.
Yeah, I will say the drama was better.
It was better. I felt like the other ones were just like so stupid. Like last season, it was the whole thing with Ayana and like Janelle, like, and freaking Cara and Laurel. Like, that was so dragged out. It was bad. But he said that apparently, like, while they were filming 40, they got greenlit for All Stars 5. And one of the reasons, or main reason, that they got picked up was because they were like, oh, we're gonna film it right after to use like a lot of the same crew and equipment to minimize travel, blah blah. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen with All Star 6. It definitely felt a little bit jumbled and discombobulated. I will say that, but we'll see how it goes, y'all. I mean, let's hope we get Coral in the future. Fingers crossed. Let's hope that's just a start. Like, hopefully we get the Miz on there. If we get Coral and the Miz on there, that'd be cool as fuck.
Throwback, yeah.
Right. Maybe Landon, if he wants to appear out of the woodwork, like,
I don't know. I don't know if Landon would ever do it. There's so many people. Like, there's so many people we haven't seen.
So many.
I was just gonna say Keena. That's so weird.
We still haven't seen Sarah and Susie back in the life.
I don't think who else? Sarah.
The other Cara, the original Cara.
Yeah, I guess.
Not ringing a bell for me, but
yeah, there's just several people that we'd love to see on this show. Obviously, we'd love to see it keep going. Hopefully, it just gets better. 41. We'll see how that goes. If y'all seen the spoilers, don't spoil it for us, for the people in the chat. But should be interesting because that boot order was wild, very wild in a good way though. Yeah, it was insane. But yeah, y'all, I'm happy. I'm satisfied with the winners. It was kind of, we knew it was gonna happen. I'm sure Nani is probably like loving that she was right about it, that they were gonna win. Honestly, if Turbo and Nani were a part of this final, they could have won.
I was just gonna say they could have won. Yup.
Oh, for sure.
They definitely could have won.
Easy as cake for them, to be honest. I really think so. Turbo, no discredit to Nani, but Turbo would have carried that whole thing, and Nani would have just been like, yep, there for the ride on the back. Like, let's go Turbo. Turbo Kid is
But I
fun.
also Nani's a good endurance runner too. Like,
Oh no,
she
for sure.
doesn't
I'm
gas
saying, but
out.
like
Yeah, and she does pretty well in finals. She
she
does
does.
pretty well.
She always does
So
well.
yeah, so I'm like, honestly, like, she's pretty consistent. She could have won this, but
Yeah.
we will see Nani. If you didn't know, we will see her on 41, and she also put something that apparently we'll know why, or we'll know more details as to why her and Casey broke up. If y'all are looking forward to that, you're gonna find out on 41. So
Because she wanted a new couch. That's why.
but anything else y'all want to comment on before we head out?
No, just MTV, give us a break.
They will.
Let us be ready for it.
I don't think the challenge is coming on till like 41 until end of the summer, or maybe midsummer.
Let's aim for end of the summer.
Yeah, I think end of the summer. I feel like they like starting the flagship seasons towards like end of August, early September now. I feel like that's their flow.
Did you see any kind of teaser during the episode? Because I saw something on X that was like, oh, there's supposed to be a teaser for 41 and for the new Mission Impossible movie. And I didn't see a teaser for 41.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that either. It would have been smart of them to do a teaser, but
yeah.
no.
I don't know, but I hope there's more ways to watch 41.
Yes.
Next day on Paramount at least, or something, because this whole MTV only thing is killing me. But
no, it's honestly a huge reason why the numbers are down. They make it impossible for people to watch. Like, you can't watch it on Paramount. Like, you gotta. It's just not a good look. But hopefully they figure that out, because it's gonna end the show. It's gonna bring the show down for sure. It's on that path. Unfortunately, but all right, y'all. Well, that's it. Make sure to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. Please comment. Let us know, who are you looking forward to see? Who do you want to see in season 41? Are you happy that Adam and Steve won? Did you want somebody else to win? Who were you rooting for? Let us know everything and in between. Oh, just so y'all know, Reality Unloaded podcast is going on a break. Now that the Challenge All Stars 5 is done, thank you so much, Brandon and Jenna, for your services. We will be taking a well-deserved break. I know we haven't been posting as much, but honestly, life be lifing. So to mitigate that, we will be taking a break. We will maybe come back, June, July. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know. But we just wanted to let y'all know now. Okay? And yeah, thank y'all for y'all support. We really appreciate it. And we hope everybody has a great night. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jenna. She'll join us for the next season. Don't worry.
She'll join us again, yes.
Oh, and we got to watch a Survivor season for Jenna and for Lena. So hopefully, maybe we'll tune into the next Survivor, and because I'm sure there'll be another 2 before the year ends, and we'll talk that through. But all right, everybody, have a good night. Bye.